What is up, guys? My name is Asteroid, and welcome back to the next episode of our Pokemon competitive guide. So guys, today we're going to be covering Conkeldurr, and Conkeldurr is definitely one of my favorite 5th gen Pokemon, just because of how it's used in competitive play. It's extremely powerful, has a really high attack stat, great HP stat, and a decent defense stat, but the rest of its stats are kind of trash. But anyways, despite that, this Pokemon has some fantastic abilities, fantastic moves, and it really does work out pretty well. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. But if you guys were wondering, yes, last week we did not have an episode, which I apologize for. I'm going to keep on doing my best to stick to schedule and keep the series coming once a week. And in terms of Masters Challenge, I apologize for not releasing one yesterday on Saturday. There should be one either Monday or Tuesday. Sometime this week, I'm going to try and release it then. So definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, the reason why there wasn't an episode was because me, Sean, Vinny, and Ryan were all in a Skype call pretty much all night doing a Soul Silver sleep block over on Ryan's Twitch, and it was extremely fun. I really enjoyed it. But anyways, that being said, today of course we're covering Conkeldurr, and that is our main objective. We have our first set here, which is a Mach Punching, Knock Offing, Drain Punching, Ice Punching set. This set is pretty much like the standard set you will see a lot of times. We're running the Assault Vest here to boost your special defense through the roof, combining the Assault Vest and then your pretty good HP stats alongside your also very high attack stat. You will be able to do a lot of damage while also taking a bunch of hits. Of course, speed is obviously your weakness, but we are running Mach Punch for that priority on this set. So anyways, moving on to the moveset, we do have Mach Punch for the priority and the Stab, of course. We have Knock Off to get rid of items and also deal damage on the dark side of things. We have Drain Punch for the health recovery combined with your bulk from the Assault Vest. You're going to be able to heal yourself up while also dishing out a bunch of damage, which is great. And finally, we have Ice Punch for the coverage. It's going to be very, very nice for dishing out damage against Garchomp and Landorus and Pokemon of that sort. Now, Conkeldurr does get a lot of physical attacks. As you guys can see if we go down this list right here, we have a lot of things to choose from. And if you would like to run, Brick Break to get rid of screens and replace for Drain Punch, if you would like to run, freaking Earthquake, could be nice for the coverage. If you want to run, Fire Punch or Force Palm or Hammer Arm, you can swap out these attacks for a moveset of your choice. I do recommend you do run Knock Off because Knock Off is extremely useful. Mach Punch is great for the priority, which is fantastic, especially for a very, very slow Pokemon like Conkeldurr. But if you do want to swap out, Ice Punch for Poison Jab, for the fairies, or whatever it may be, it is completely up to you. And I do recommend you try and get creative with these sets and try to make them, more personal and more unique. So, but anyways, that being said, we have 248 in HP, 252 in attack, and the 8 in defense. If you want to invest the 8 into special defense, then you may do that. The reason why we're going with 248 in HP compared to 252 is because we're trying to keep that odd HP stat at 413, which basically is going to allow you to take more entry hazard damage, and it's just overall better. If you are able to customize your EVs to that extent, then I do recommend you do so. But moving on to the abilities, which is kind of where Conkeldurr shines, we have Guts, Sheer Force, and Iron Fist. We have 3 fantastic abilities on the same Pokemon, so it kind of makes it hard to choose. But for this I am going with Guts, and Guts is great because if you do end up getting burned by Scald or a Will-O-Wisp or whatever it may be, then you're going to be doubling your attack stat. It's going to negate the damage from burn. Of course, it does work with poison and paralysis as well, which is amazing. It's going to be boosting your attack stat through the roof, and it mostly just gives you that protection against burns, because obviously for a physical attacker, burns are not all that great. Now, in terms of the other abilities, if you do want to run Iron Fist to get that boost on the Mach Punch and the Drain Punch, and also the Ice Punch if you do run it, then you may do that as well. We're going to be covering some Iron Fist sets in a second here. But Iron Fist is going to boost your punch attacks, so if you're running a lot of punch attacks, then you may want to consider running Iron Fist. But pretty much it's all up to you. If you want burn protection, then Guts is the way you want to go. If you want to boost your punch attacks just straight off the bat without any hassle, then Iron Fist is the choice for you. Now, in terms of Sheer Force, we're not going to be going with Sheer Force just yet, but I do have one set that does use Sheer Force here, and we're going to be going over that later on in the episode. But without further ado, let's move on to the next set, which, as I was saying, is an Iron Fist set. We have Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Mach Punch, and Thunder Punch, a full punching moveset. You can run Knock Off if you'd like to run that. You can also run Earthquake or Poison Jab, whatever it may be, but in terms of this set, seeing as we are running Iron Fist, I decided to run a full punching moveset to pretty much capitalize on that. So every single move you use will be boosted by Iron Fist. We have Drain Punch, Health Recovery, and Stab. Ice Punch is great for the guard chomps and Landorus's. We have Mach Punch for the priority. And we have Thunder Punch for, you know, the flying types and the water types, which is pretty great. But pretty much the same idea here. We have the Assault Vest, 248 HP, 252 attack, 8 in defense with the Adamant Nature. I did forget to mention the Nature, but Adamant is definitely the way you want to go. If you wanted to go with like a plus special defense nature, then I guess you can. But I highly recommend you just go with the Adamant Nature and get the most out of your attack. Now moving on, we have a Life Orb Conkeldurr, and the reason why we're not running Assault Vest is because we're going with Bulk Up. Now Bulk Up is going to raise your attack and your defense by 1, and of course with the Assault Vest you may not run stat moves, so you kind of do have to sacrifice the Assault Vest for the Bulk Up. It's alright though, because Life Orb is going to be boosting your attack stat, while Iron Fist is going to be boosting your damage from Drain Punch and Ice Punch, and Drain Punch is going to be able to heal yourself after you take the Life Orb damage, so you're going to be getting that health back, and it should be pretty amazing. So the idea here obviously is to take hits, bulk up, raise your defense, raise your attack stat, and then do damage with Drain Punch, heal up, do damage with Knockoff, do damage with Ice Punch. You could also run Mach Punch if you guys would like to do that. You could also run Guts if you'd like to do that as well. And the reason why I kind of favored Iron Fist in this situation is because we are running Bulk Up to raise our attack. So we're going to be able to kind of combat the burn if we do get burned a lot easier than if we weren't running Bulk Up. So that was kind of my thought process. If you do want to run Guts though, then I will not stop you. It's definitely a fantastic ability. Anyways though, we're going to be investing the 8 into special defense for this set, just to kind of put some sort of investment into that stat, because we're going to be boosting our defense anyway, so you really don't need to. You can if you want, it's completely up to you. But here we are with the next set. We have a Choice Bandit Conkeldurr with Drain Punch, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Poison Jab. I decided to show off a few of the other moves that Conkeldurr learns, and yeah, so pretty much this set is completely up to you. You can pretty much choose whatever moveset you would like. You can run Knockoff, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, and Ice Punch. You can run Thunder Punch, Poison Jab, Stone Edge, Earthquake. Whatever it may be, you can customize it to your liking. Also, Hammer Arm is another option if you guys aren't as concerned about that speed. Hammer Arm can definitely be useful, especially combined with the Choice Band. But the same EV spread applies: 252 attack, 248 HP, and 8 in defense. And of course, Guts and Iron Fist are very interchangeable. If you are running a more punch-focused moveset, then you can definitely run the Iron Fist. But with this moveset right here, I do prefer Guts, because if we did run Iron Fist, it would only be boosted by Drain Punch, and that would not be too good. But these final two sets were made by Squirrel9110. If you guys did not know, he's been helping me out with these competitive guides recently. He's been a big help, so shout out to him. Thank you. But anyways, we have a Sheer Force Conkeldurr here. That is right, we're coming back to the Sheer Force. Now what Sheer Force does, if you guys are not aware, it's going to make it so the Pokemon's attacks with secondary effects have 1.3 times power, but it's going to get rid of those secondary effects. So basically the two moves on this moveset that Sean suggested, Ice Punch and Poison Jab, are going to be affected by this ability. So basically Poison Jab is going to get a bit of a boost, but you're not going to have that chance to poison. Ice Punch is going to get that boost, of course, but you're not going to have that chance to freeze. Honestly, Sheer Force is a great ability. It might not sound all that great because you're giving up a portion of that move just for a bit more power, but when you are talking about a 1.3 times boost to an attack that is also being, you know, backed up by a 140 base attack stat with an Adamant Nature and max attack, that is a 416 attack stat at level 100. You get damage. You get pure damage. So definitely consider running Sheer Force. We have, on top of that though, we have Mach Punch and Drain Punch. Drain Punch for the recovery to kind of combat that Life Orb, which we are running Life Orb as well. And Mach Punch is great for the priority. Now, you may be wondering, Life Orb, now that's an interesting item. Why not run Assault Vest? Because, you know, we have all these attacking moves. Life Orb is definitely the item you want to go for though, because not only does Sheer Force affect moves, it also affects Life Orb. So Life Orb is going to give you a free 1.3 times boost without taking any of your health. So what I said about Drain Punch negating that damage, I was lying about that, because you will not be taking any damage from Life Orb with Sheer Force. So basically you're getting a free 1.3 times boost to all of your attacks without any repercussions, which is fantastic. Of course, for our EVs, we have 248 in HP, 252 in attack with the Adamant Nature, and the 8 in special defense. For this final set, we have a Sub Punch Conkeldurr. And Focus Punch here, if you guys are not aware, is a 150 base power attack at 100% accuracy, and the only downside to Focus Punch is if you take damage within the same turn that you use the attack is going to fail. Now this is where Substitute comes in. Substitute is going to be able to soak up all of the opponent's attacks and pretty much allow you to launch those focus punches without any concern. The idea here is to go with a Substitute first turn, get that sub up, get protected, and then take a hit with your sub, and then proceed to go with a focus punch next turn, and then the opponent will not be able to break your focus because you are behind a sub. Even if they do break the sub in that turn, you're still going to be able to launch a focus punch off, and it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's a base 150 power attack that is stab at max attack with a 140 base attack stat with an Adamant Nature. That's pretty insane. That is pretty insane. So yes, on top of that, we have Ice Punch for the coverage and Mach Punch for the priority if you guys would like to take advantage of that. You could also run, Stone Edge or Earthquake or Knockoff or Poison Jab. It is completely up to you. Basically, the final two moves on this set are completely customizable. The first two moves are kind of, essential, but the last two you can pretty much change to whatever you would like. And yeah, so for the ability, we have Iron Fist. Iron Fist is like the icing on the cake because it's going to take that super insanely powerful focus punch and give it a 1.2 times boost at no cost, which is fantastic. And the reason why I do recommend Iron Fist over Guts for this set is simply because of the fact that Iron Fist is going to boost the focus punch, and also because of the fact that Substitute is already going to be blocking status, so you're not really at that much of a risk of status when you have Substitute. So Guts really isn't all that needed, so I do recommend Iron Fist. Now for the item, we have Leftovers, of course. Leftovers is going to help combat the damage you're going to be taking from Substitute, and that is pretty much it. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Pokemon Competitive Guide, smash that like button down below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace!